Crafting in Last Epoch is a cornerstone of character progression, offering players the tools to tailor their gear to specific builds and playstyles. Whether you're just beginning your journey through Eterra or delving into in-game content, understanding the crafting system is essential for maximizing your character's potential. Embarking on crafting early in your adventure can also significantly ease the challenges of the campaign, transforming average gear into powerful assets. As you progress, mastering the intricacies of crafting will enable you to create gear that not only completes but amplifies your chosen build. In this guide, we will explore the fundamentals of Last Epoch's crafting system, providing you with the knowledge to confidently enhance your gear and optimize your character's performance. In Last Epoch, the crafting system allows players to enhance and customize various equipment types. The following items are eligible for forging currently: normal, magic, rare, and exalted items. These items possess forging potential, enabling the addition or upgrading of affixes, rerolling of stats, and other modifications. Items with forging potential are items that have the capacity to be forged and is determined by its forging potential value. Once the value is depleted, the item can no longer undergo crafting processes. In Last Epoch, crafting is enhanced through the use of modifier runes and support glyphs. These tools provide players with the ability to fine-tune their gear, offering both deterministic and randomized modifications to suit various playstyles and build requirements. Support glyphs are consumed items that influence the outcome of crafting actions, particularly when adding or upgrading affixes on equipment. They are placed in the designated glyph slot within the Forge interface. The primary glyphs include Glyphs of Hope, which offer 25% chance that the crafting action will not consume any forging potential, allowing for more extensive modifications to an item. The Glyph of Chaos, which when used during an affix upgrade, this glyph randomly changes the affix to a different one of the same type, prefix or suffix, while still increasing its tier. This is useful for re-rolling undesirable affixes. The Glyph of Order ensures that the numeric value of an affix remains the same when upgrading its tier, preserving high rolls and preventing potential downgrades. The Glyph of Despair has a chance to seal an affix, moving it to a special slot and freeing up its original slot for additional crafting. Sealed affixes cannot be modified further, and only one sealed affix is allowed per item. And finally, the Glyph of Insight. This transforms a prefix into an experimental affix, granting unique properties. This glyph is limited to the use on gloves, boots, and belts, and only if the item does not already have an experimental affix on it. Modifier runes are powerful consumables that perform significant alterations to items during crafting. They are placed in the rune slot within the Forge interface. Key runes include Rune of Shattering, which destroys an item and returns a random number of affix shards corresponding to its affixes, useful for salvaging valuable shards from unwanted gear. The Rune of Refinement re-rolls the values of all affixes on an item within their current tiers, potentially improving or reducing their effectiveness. The Rune of Removal removes a random affix from an item and returns a number of shards equal to its tier. Experimental and personal affixes cannot be removed this way though. Rune of Discovery adds a random tier 1 affix to all empty affix slots on an item without consuming any forging potential, allowing for the quick enhancement of gear. Runes of Shaping re-roll all implicit modifiers on an item, which are inherent properties specific to this item's base type. The Rune of Ascendance transforms a normal, magic, or rare item into a unique or set item of the same base type, providing a chance to obtain powerful gear. The Rune of Creation duplicates the item but sets the forging potential of both the original and the copy to 0, preventing further crafting on those items. And the Rune of Research seals an experimental affix on the item, moving it to its own slot and freeing up the original slot for new affixes. There's also a chance to gain a Glyph of Insight when using this rune. By strategically utilizing support glyphs and modifier runes, players can significantly enhance their crafting capabilities. In Last Epoch, tailoring the gear to meet that specific demands of their chosen builds. Finally, there are affix shards. These are prefixes and suffixes or individual stats that you would like to put on your items according to how you are tailoring your builds. Keep in mind that when you do use these shards, that you run the chance of using forge potential. The more forge potential you use, the less affixes you will be able to place on your gear. Also remember, there can only be 2 affixes on prefix and 2 affixes which are suffixes. So pick wisely when choosing. By pressing F on your keyboard, you open up your forge. The forge has a button to the top left known as Crafting Materials. By clicking this button, you will have a new window that pops up and lets you see the 3 major ways that you can adjust stats on your gear. They are the modifier runes, the support glyphs, and the affix shards. And now the fun begins. You start the crafting process by pressing F on your keyboard, which will open up your forge and your inventory to give you the options of what you can try to forge. Now notice in my inventory I have many different colored items. There is red, there are orange, there are green, there are purple, and there are gold. There are other items which can be crafted, but we're only trying to figure out how to craft so that you can move along and explore the game yourself to determine how you want to craft things for the future. Now, if you notice on the red, orange, and green items, there is no stats for forging potential. However, when you look at the purple, there is 38 forging potential on this Commander's Opulent Focus of Purity. The same goes for the gold. You will notice there's 24 forging potential. There are different reasons why different items have more or less forging potential, but that is not the section that we are trying to look at to explain today. Today, we just want to see how to easily get you started in the crafting process so that you can improve your gear in a way which will help you progress through Season 2 content in an easy fashion. Now, the way we go about doing this is by quickly popping our item into the forge. When you do so, you can then click down here and choose one of your glyphs. So, for example, if I want to make sure that a modifier outcome crafting is 25% chance to have no forging potential cost lost, I will choose my Glyph of Hope. Then I can easily click on the area that has the plus sign. In doing so, this crafting window opens up and it will tell me my affixes which I can choose to put on this item. Now, as you can see, there are 2 different sections, prefixes and suffixes. And since all of my prefixes are filled, I can just click here on the open suffix and I can choose which suffixes, by clicking on this item, can be placed here. So as you can see, you can scroll through everything and try to figure out what it is you want to put on this item so that it can improve your build for you. Now, in terms of this, we can just choose anything, such as chance to chill attackers. By placing this in, we now just move to add the affix. Notice the forging potential is 38. When I click, my Glyph of Hope did not work, so I ended up losing 10 forging potential to get my chance of chill on my piece. A second thing that you can do is you can upgrade. Now, if you look into the circle of the suffixes and prefixes, you will notice that there might be an arrow at the top. If you click on that arrow, this gives you a chance to upgrade the affix. Once again, I'm leaving my Glyph of Hope in so that I can get that 25% chance that no forging potential will be lost, and I craft the affix. However, as you can see, I suffered a great blow because my Glyph of Hope did not work. Therefore, I went from 26 to 3 forging potential. This is the bad side of crafting. However, it does make the game exciting and more deterministic for you. So at the end of the day, this is how we will go about crafting items as we are moving through the ranks and leveling up towards the end game. In addition, you can click on this little rune symbol to have your runes come up. You can choose your rune of shattering, of refinement, or you can even try to upgrade your piece to a unique or set item just by clicking it and pushing the ascend button. And voila, I was able to get Pebble's Femur, which is a 3-piece set item. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope that this guide helps you understand the basics of crafting items as you are moving through the levels of the campaign. Please keep in mind there are new shards and new affixes that have been added to the game. However, they will not affect you as you are leveling up through the campaign, as these new items that are being introduced in Season 2 will all be part of the in-game crafting system, in which there will be another video put out here pretty soon explaining the more advanced details to crafting. This guide was primarily meant to let you understand the basic components to make crafting plausible for you as you are running through the levels. I hope that everybody is able to craft the perfect pieces of gear to make their items the strongest in the game so that they can conquer and go deep into endgame. Thank you all for joining me today. Remember, if you like this video, like and subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, if there's anything that you have a question about in terms of crafting, please post down below or join the Discord and feel free to ask any questions as you please. Thank you and enjoy the world, travelers.